Today, our fellow citizens, our way of life, our very freedom came under attack in a series of deliberate and deadly terrorist acts. Thousands of lives were suddenly ended by evil.
The attack was deliberately planned.
Despicable acts of terror, terrible sadness. These acts of mass murder were intended to frighten our nation into chaos and retreat. But they have failed. Our country is strong.
77 years ago,
the inevitable triumph.
our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal.
A great people has been moved to defend a great nation. Terrorist attacks can shake the foundations of our biggest buildings,
The attack was deliberately
but they
planned.
cannot touch the foundation of America.
Now we are engaged in a great war.
These acts shatter steel, but they cannot end the steel of American resolve. And no one will keep that light from shining.
We are met on a great battlefield.
Our military is
The
powerful.
American naval and military forces.
It's prepared to protect our citizens at
For
home
those who here gave their lives that that nation might live.
and around the world from further attacks.
It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do
The
this.
search is underway for those who are behind these evil acts. Terrible
I
sadness.
regret to tell you that very many American lives have been lost.
He said thousands of lives that were suddenly ended.
The victims were in airplanes or in their offices. Secretaries, businessmen and military and federal workers. Moms and dads. Tonight I ask for your prayers.
He feels so strongly about his Christianity.
And I pray they will be comforted by a power greater than any of
We've
us.
heard scattered reports of people going to church and saying a prayer for those people who
Gave their lives. Brave men, living and dead,
With the daring of our rescue
who
workers.
struggled here.
With the care for strangers and neighbors who came to give blood. Thank you.
But in a larger sense,
We will make no
we
distinction
cannot dedicate,
between the terrorists who committed these acts
we cannot consecrate,
and those who harbor them.
we cannot hallow this
Our
ground.
country is strong.
He said America would make no distinction
We will make no distinction
between the terrorists and those who harbor
between the terrorists who committed these acts and those who harbor
The
them.
world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did
A
here.
date which will live in infamy.
Today, our very freedom came under attack.
President of the United States.
Here is Mr. Bush. The president isn't sitting there trying to think about what to say, I can assure you. This is what we've expected him to do, and now here he is.
Good evening.
President of the United States, when he is in many respects needed most.
And I pray they will be comforted by a power greater than any of us. Spoken through the ages in Psalm 23.
Felt it a good time to say, to quote those lines from Psalm 23,
Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death,
even though I walk the valley of death,
I fear no
I
evil.
fear no evil,
I fear no
because
evil,
God is with me.
for you are with me.
So help us
For the
God.
last 9 days, the entire world has seen for itself the state of our union, and it is strong. Justice will be done.
This was their fighting power.
I have a dream. We hold these truths to be self-evident.
That all men are created equal.
That all men are created equal. This is our hope.
On September the 11th, enemies of freedom committed an act of war against our country. The terrorist directive commands them to kill Christians and Jews, to kill all Americans, and make no distinctions among military and civilians, including women and children. There are thousands of these terrorists in more than 60 countries. And tonight, the United States of America makes the following demands. These demands are not open negotiation or discussion. They will hand over the terrorists, or they will share in their fate. On September the 11th,
Our very freedom came under attack. Tonight I ask for your prayers for all those who grieve.
may God grant us wisdom,
So help us God.
and may He watch over the United States of America.